He's standing on the floor. He wanted to lay on the floor his back was hurt after the fall, and that was Monday night. And he's been laying there ever since.
It starts with a 911 call that sounds almost routine. An elderly wife calmly asking for help for her injured husband. But what unfolds inside the Hignite home is anything but routine.
It is. How can I help you? Thank you. My name is Carol Ann Hignite. My husband and I live in Gardenside. He suffered a bad fall Monday night in a little bitty half bathroom. And he has done some damage to his head, outside and inside. And I've talked to the doctors at the Lexington Clinic, and they said go right on and take him to the ER. Okay, what's that address? Is that what you said? That's right. It's right in Gardenside. How old is he? He's 76. He's conscious and able to talk to you? No. So he's not breathing or not conscious? Oh, yeah, he's breathing, but it appears to me that his breathing is short, and I can hear rattling in his chest. And before this fall, there was no rattling in his chest that I knew of. Is he able to talk to you? No, he can't. He will not talk. He's standing on the floor. He said he wanted to lay on the floor his back was hurt after the fall, and that was Monday night. And he's been laying there ever since. And he won't talk, he won't do anything. So he's having a rough time, and we need to get him checked out, because that pipe underneath the sink where he's hitting his head, they said at the clinic it could require a tetanus shot, possibly. And just get him checked out real good at St. Joe South. Okay, so he's normally not able to speak to you? Or he's normally able to communicate with you? Yes, we can communicate pretty good, even though he's lost about probably 80% of his hearing and probably that much of his vision. We can still communicate with a little effort, but we manage to communicate. But he can't now. He cannot now. How old is he? 76. And you said he's been on the floor since Monday? Yes. And I kept saying to him, get on the bed, okay, do you hear me? And he'd go, you know, I don't know if he was saying I hear you or what, but I kept thinking he's going to get up, because before this fall, he hadn't been acting right. He'd been spending, about the past 3 months, either in bed or in his recliner. And he was just really depressed, it seems to me like. I don't know any other word to call it. And he has seen Dr. Greniger in the past for anxiety and depression, but Dr. Greniger is no longer practicing. So he needs some help, and, you know, we need some help.
On September 28, 2017, Lexington first responders found 76-year-old Leon Hignite unresponsive, severely injured, and surrounded by blood, filth, and tragedy. His wife, Carol Ann Hignite, had finally called for help, but it was far too late. It was only the beginning of what would become a shocking investigation. According to the 74-year-old, her husband had fallen in the bathroom 3 days earlier, but she couldn't immediately access him because the door was jammed. When he emerged, he was bleeding heavily. Rather than seeking medical attention, Carol laid him on the bedroom floor and left him there.
I didn't do anything to the one but try to help him make it well, and he did grab my arm one time. And then someone called out the doctor to get an appointment. I don't know what he did in that bathroom.
Over the next 72 hours, Leon's condition deteriorated as Carol reportedly tried to tend to him, offering ice chips and attempting to clean him after he soiled himself. Instead of seeking medical help, she laid newspapers on the floor to absorb his blood. It wasn't until she consulted their doctor that Carol finally called 911. Leon was rushed to the University of Kentucky Medical Center, but his prognosis was grim. As the 76-year-old fought for his life in the hospital, investigators turned their attention to the Hignite home.
The thing is there's, for what you saw was a lot of blood ongoing in the bathroom, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay, and then you took me right to the bathroom, then we're left with all this cast off on the wall.
A search revealed a scene straight out of a nightmare. Blood-covered walls and ceilings, and the house was described as hoarder-like. A hammer allegedly used in the attack bore bloodstains. To make matters worse, while investigators were executing their search warrant, a fire broke out in the basement. The fire department extinguished it immediately, but arson was suspected. It was later determined that the fire had been intentionally set, adding another layer of suspicion to an already odd situation.
You go downstairs? No. You can't get down there. No, I've never been there in years. I've come downstairs. That pine that's up there, there's mold on down there. Real bad mold.
You know there was a fire at your house. Yeah.
Well, when?
After you came back from the hospital.
I don't really call insurance people. My God, where was the fire? In the basement, you say? I never go down there. That sounds like Miss Heather.
Miss Heather,
My daughter.
did she would start the fire?
Yeah.
Why would you
She's coming.
Why do you think all of a sudden she would come start a fire that
No,
day?
I just said that, and then she didn't. But somebody started a fire in their house. Why would I set my house on fire?
You remember the crime did?
Well, the ring had already been taken to the hospital, that's what you're referring to. The ring had already been taken to the hospital. And I waited with the policeman who was in the house, and then we talked, and then he went outside. And then when Jason came, then I went outside. But I didn't go downstairs and set my house on fire. That's crazy.
Less than 2 weeks later, Leon died. The medical examiner ruled his death a homicide caused by blunt force trauma to the head. With 33 lacerations to his head, broken ribs, a fractured orbital socket, and a broken leg, a fall seemed highly unlikely.
I can't say that I heard warning. I can't.
It's just inconceivable. I think there
I
must be. Yeah, and I saw that's exactly the cuts and the deep lacerations on his head or on the top of his head. The stuff under the skin is about that. If he has to get the back of his head. These are right on the top of his head. When someone would hit his head.
He couldn't have done it on.
No.
When you were down there, I don't want to figure it out. Now you don't know.
No, he had to. Seriously, these are directly on top of his head. So his head would get under there and then directly up to go like that. You don't understand what I'm saying. They're directly like this. There's not enough area for him to get his head into there, straight into a 90-degree angle, and then come up 5-6 times. It's impossible. If they were on the back of his head, I tell you what, one was on the back of his head, I'm not even by that theory. But 5 or 6 on the crown of his head, it's impossible.
Carol Ann Hignite was arrested the next day. Initially charged with elder neglect and abuse, her charges were upgraded to murder following Leon's autopsy results. Third-degree arson was also added to the list. In court, the prosecution painted a chilling picture. Carol Ann allegedly attacked her husband with a hammer, leaving marks on a bathroom door consistent with its use. Instead of helping him, she left him to languish for days and later set the house on fire in an attempt to destroy evidence. Neighbors described Carol as an eccentric figure who had previously claimed Leon was recovering from back surgery.
All of my neighbors around me have been talking about it, and we just can't quite believe that something like this would happen in our neighborhood. We're really quiet and safe.
That lie was just one of many inconsistencies investigators uncovered. The defense, however, argued that Leon's injuries resulted from a fall, not an attack. Carol loved her husband, they claimed, and had tried her best to care for him. The fire? A tragic accident caused by faulty electrical equipment.
They come in, they see Dwayne and his appearance, and they immediately think that Carol has injured and caused these injuries to Dwayne. They looked at only evidence that would support their theory. It's a tendency of human beings to look for evidence that will support your theory and disregard any other evidence that doesn't conform with that theory.
She pleaded not guilty to all charges and remained in custody after being denied bail due to concerns she posed a danger to herself and others. As the case dragged on for years, delays and legal motions culminated in a long-awaited trial 5 years later. In December 2022, her case finally went to trial. But that wouldn't be the end. After 7 hours, jurors couldn't reach a unanimous verdict. It was a mistrial. The prosecution announced plans to retry the case against Carol Ann Hignite, and the retrial was scheduled to begin on October 21st, 2024. She faces decades in prison if she's found guilty on all counts of murder, knowingly neglecting an elderly person, and third-degree arson. In the lead-up, the woman requested a new lawyer on the grounds of poor representation. Since then, the judge's ruling on that, as well as updates on the retrial, have not been published. Meanwhile, questions lingered about what really happened inside the Hignite home. Was this a tragic accident or a cold-blooded murder? It was a quiet morning in Boca Raton, Florida. Evelyn Udell, a 75-year-old retired librarian, was at home awaiting the delivery of a washer and dryer from Best Buy. Two subcontractors, Jorge Lechazo and David Gonzalez, arrived. Once the installation was done, Gonzalez went outside to return phone calls, while Lechazo stayed behind to demonstrate the appliances. But what happened next turned an ordinary delivery into a horrific crime scene.
Mom, what's the location of your emergency? Repeat the address. What subdivision are you in?
This is Boca Raton.
Right, what subdivision is that? Which one?
This is everything. This is street.
Okay, is this in what subdivision? What subdivision?
I'm sorry, I don't speak English very well. I have some situation here, please. Very bad.
What's the problem?
I need somebody. I need the police, please.
What happened?
I don't know.
Are you hurt?
No, somebody help.
Somebody what? What? I need to know what's wrong.
I don't know. I did the delivery. I did the delivery for this house.
Yes.
And then I saw a lot of screen inside. When I go inside, I saw the ladies in the floor.
Okay, so did something happen to you? Because you're crying. I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm telling you. What do you think? I was see somebody in the floor or start laughing or something like that?
Sir, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, tell somebody, please.
So you need paramedics, not the police. That's why I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, both, please. Paramedics.
And they're breathing, though, right?
I don't know. I don't want to touch it.
Okay. Did you go in? You did not go inside, right?
No. Yeah, I was working inside.
Oh, you were working inside?
Yes.
Okay, let me get a translator on the line. I have help on the way. Stay on the line.
Good morning. My name is Lisa, and I'll be your Spanish interpreter, 348-695. How can I help you?
Hi, could you just ask this gentleman to verify the address we need help at?
Okay, ¿me puede verificar la dirección donde necesita la ayuda?
Okay, ask him exactly what happened, please.
Dígame exactamente qué fue lo que pasó, por favor.
Okay, yo estoy trabajando haciendo un delivery, entonces hice una instalación de washer and dryer y tengo mi compañero. Entonces, cuando fui que me llamaron del trabajo, salgo afuera, siento la gente gritando, pero que yo trato de entrar para adentro y está la puerta cerrada, y cuando él sale, veo a la señora tirada en el piso. No sé si tuvo una discusión con el compañero y la golpeó.
Okay, dame un momento. Well, I was working doing the deliveries. I was installing a washer and a dryer, and I was with my partner. When I heard some yelling inside, when I went to go inside.
Okay, hold on a second. Where is his partner right now?
Un momento. I'm sorry, what was that?
Where is his partner that hit her now?
¿Dónde está el compañero suyo, el que le pegó a la señora?
No sé, está dentro de la casa.
He's I don't know. I think he's inside the house.
Does he know what the coworker hit her with?
¿Usted sabe con qué su compañero le pegó a la señora?
No, si estoy afuera, estaba afuera de esto. Yo no sé lo que pasó.
¿Usted ha podido entrar?
No me fue.
No,
solamente abrí la puerta y
he's outside.
Okay, so
He's outside. He only opened the door and saw the lady.
okay, and the coworker has not come back outside yet?
¿Y su compañero no ha salido de nuevo?
No.
Okay. Señor, ¿su compañero salió? ¿Usted no sabe? It's cutting off. It's cutting off, I'm sorry. Señor, se está cortando la comunicación. ¿Usted sabe si su compañero salió o no? I hear him speaking with someone.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me look.
Señor, ¿está bien?
Can you make out what they're saying?
No. Señor, ¿está bien? ¿Él está dónde?
Yo me cambié de la compañía.
Ok, pero ¿usted está bien?
Nervioso. No sé qué hacer.
Ok, ¿está con su compañero o no lo ve?
No, se está escapando.
¿Se está escapando? Okay, he's escaping. The partner is escaping. He's inside the gentleman that is calling, the caller, he's inside the company's truck, and he's seeing his partner that is escaping.
In what direction is he leaving?
Okay.
No, él todavía está tratando de cambiar. Él está tratando de cambiar el camión, pero no sabe manejar de cambio. Y se le está apagando el camión. Está aquí frente a la casa todavía.
Okay, so he's in front of the house. The partner is inside the truck, and he's trying to turn on the truck, but he doesn't know how to turn on the truck because he doesn't know how to drive.
Okay,
so he's still in front of the house.
Okay, so he's in front of the house in the truck, but he can't get it started. Did the caller ask him what happened to the lady?
Señor, ¿usted le llegó a preguntar a su compañero qué fue lo que pasó? Okay, he's speaking with someone. Hold on. Señor? Can't make out what he said.
I understand.
Dígame qué está pasando. Señor, dígame qué está pasando. Señor, ¿qué está pasando? Señor, necesito que me deje saber qué está pasando, por favor.
Okay, interpreter, my fire rescue's on scene there. I'm just trying to see if we can figure out what's going on.
Okay. All right. Sí, señor, estoy aquí. ¿Qué está pasando? No.
Okay. Did you happen to hear what he was saying in Spanish to the other guy?
It was just something about to stop the truck or something like that.
Okay.
In that kind of way. They were talking about the truck. I hear somebody in the background. I don't know if there's the help already
Yeah,
that is there.
probably fire rescue.
She's speaking with somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, interpreter, thank you very much. I'll let you
He's with
know.
someone.
Evelyn was brutally attacked in her laundry room, struck with a rubber mallet and doused in acetone before being set on fire. Lechazo fled the scene in the delivery truck but was apprehended at a traffic stop a short distance away.
To have a gated community, then everyone is registered when they come in, so that this individual that performed this deed knows that they're of record. So there's no chance of absconding and running away and fleeing and being successful in it.
It makes you feel that you can't trust anyone.
When first responders arrived, they found her unconscious, her body partially on fire, and her hair soaked in blood. Evelyn Udall passed away in hospital 8 days before her 76th birthday. She was a beloved mother of 2, grandmother to 6, and a longtime librarian at Florida Atlantic University.
There is no why. It has been an unimaginable task to bring reason to something so senseless.
Lechazo was arrested and charged with first-degree murder, arson, and burglary with battery. Under questioning, he admitted to using cocaine and marijuana before the attack, claiming the acetone spontaneously combusted. But the evidence told a different story. Fingerprints on the mallet and acetone can, a disturbed wallet, and $203 in Lechazo's possession suggested theft as a motive. The medical examiner confirmed Evelyn's cause of death was a result of severe burns and blunt force trauma. Years later, Jorge Lechazo opted for a bench trial, avoiding a jury due to the gruesome nature of the case. He was found guilty on all charges: first-degree murder, arson, and burglary. During sentencing, the judge handed down 2 life sentences without parole for first-degree murder and burglary, plus an additional 30 years for arson. Following the tragedy, Best Buy suspended its relationship with the subcontractor and announced sweeping reviews of its safety and screening policies to prevent similar incidents. For more True 911 calls, watch this episode next.